Hey there, mamas. Welcome to the Mom Care Coach podcast. And I am your host, Victoria Matea. I am a certified life and health coach, certified international counselor, and also a homeschooling autism mom and former autism clinic director. I know that you are struggling with holding healthy boundaries around time management, constantly getting less than adequate sleep, and managing deep exhaustion and overwhelm. And you are praying to find a way to have more energy throughout your day. Well, friend, you have come to the right place. In this show, we will talk about how you can guide yourself through a process of self-care strategies that will lead you to the health solutions that you as an autism mom have been searching for, and how providing for your 4 intentional needs, sleep, movement, nutrition, and mindset, can help you avoid burnout. So grab this morning's leftover matcha or pour another cup of your homemade kombucha and pull up a chair, and let's have a chat on how these health solutions can change your life. One more thing, would you like to know more about the online coaching services and health bundles that I offer? If so, please do not hesitate to reach out. My email is mindfulwellnessforautismmoms@gmail.com. Again, mindfulwellnessforautismmoms@gmail.com. And of course, it's also listed in the show notes. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you. Now on with our show. Hello everyone, it is Victoria Matea, and you are listening in on the Mom Care Coach podcast. Thank you so much for being here. If this is the first time that you are listening in, I am Victoria Matea, your host, and we are talking about how autism moms can heal from compassion fatigue. Again, we are on part 3, and this is episode 18. And so our one big idea that I want to leave you with today is we are definitely getting into the weeds on how to heal. So our one big idea is you can heal your body. Your body was made to heal. When I refer to the word heal, that means I am meaning in a sense of it was made to be able to recover. Everybody's personal situation, of course, is different. And these are all suggestions and recommendations. I am not a medical professional, but I am a certified holistic health coach and life coach. And in my understanding and helping clients, I do give tacticals on how to help your body to recover to a state of being where you are able to feel and act and do everything in your capacity to the best of your personal situation and your personal health position. So we are looking at that. Of course, if at any time there are some questions that you have that you would like to check with your medical professional, please do. If you would like more coaching and learning more how to make these tacticals work in your personal situation and in your life, please do not hesitate to reach out. You are able to reach out to me through email, and you can find that information in the description. Now let's get on with this amazing show. So this particular episode, I have lots of tacticals for you. Last time we spoke about how to heal compassion fatigue, and if you are a person that was really needing to have tacticals on how to prevent compassion fatigue. So we went all through that. And today we're going to be talking about we have 2 different people that this particular episode is for. Those of you who are having some really strong symptoms of compassion fatigue, meaning compassion fatigue, that definition again is when a person is having deep and extreme exhaustion, physical, mental, emotional, any of those or all of those. Also having difficulty keeping boundaries in their life, and having difficulty keeping self-care practices for themselves in their life. That is what that looks like. So today we're going to talk about how to recover from those symptoms. Okay, so first, we want to talk about, first you must decide which of the 4 intentional needs you are wanting to work on. So I always recommend to pick one first. We don't want to overwhelm the amygdala to make it feel like it's impossible to recover. So we want to pick one first. And you want to pick the one that you would like to see the most improvement in right now, an area that you are struggling in when it comes to your 4 intentional needs, whether that is sleep, mindset, movement, or nutrition. You pick one, okay? And we are going to talk about that one, and we want to help so that you can move into the other intentional needs that you want to work on, of course, but we want to do those one at a time to make it easier and so that it will stick long term. You don't want to start to create habits around something and then you're choosing too many things and then you get overwhelmed. So we don't want that. So pick one. And then you want to talk about what is the small step, the small daily step that you want to establish in your life. Okay, so out of these 4, which one are you wanting to choose? So you do that. And then you want to establish a small step. So maybe, just as an example, you may want to look at nutrition. And you may say, hey, you know what? I would like to do weekly meal planning of my proteins or of my grains or veggies or all 3. So weekly meal planning, what does that look like? Well, that means if I want to create meal plans on Sunday, then I need to make sure I've gone to the grocery store maybe anywhere between Thursday and Saturday so that I have everything in my kitchen already and prepared for me so that I can get started on what it is I am wanting to make and have those plans out. So I have already done the prep work, or maybe on Sunday is the day that you do the prep work. Maybe you're chopping up all of your veggies and putting that in a reusable container and having that prepared for you. And then you're also creating a day or setting aside a day for you to do the actual plans. So that is an example. Okay, so you want to do that. So think also about what is the weekly goal that you're wanting to establish. So like I just gave an example, that would be like a weekly goal. Maybe a daily goal would be, okay, I want to, in the pillar of nutrition, maybe I want to make sure that I'm getting half of my body weight in water every single day. So maybe you have your container of water out, whether that is your Yeti, that's around 33 ounces, or your Stanley, that's I think about the same amount, or maybe you use mason jars and you're going to use a half a gallon mason jar. And you have 2 of those set out a day, and maybe you're going to put in like some different things that you like. I personally like when I put hibiscus flowers in mine. You can leave that overnight, or maybe you like to blend it all together for yourself. You choose what it is you're wanting to work on, and basically you want to have that goal in mind so that this is all of your prep work on how to get yourself out of compassion fatigue, whether you are really feeling the effects of it, having a really hard time with it, or you may be that person that's heading in that direction and you're wanting to reset yourself so that you don't get over your head, so to speak. Okay, so our first step as a recap is to pick which intentional need you wanted to work on. And then this next step was what is the first goal that you want to achieve? Like maybe you have a daily goal, maybe you have a weekly goal, and you're going to kind of think about that. Like, what is that small step you're wanting to work on? And then your next step you want to do is that you want to make sure that you're committing yourself to that goal, okay? It's one thing to say, hey, I have an idea, I want to do this thing, and I'm going to set up time to do that. But you want to commit yourself to this goal so that you have that in your mind, that this is what is important to you and you're wanting to succeed at. And then also, if this is difficult, to kind of think about what you're wanting to work on, or like really figuring out the steps to make that work for you in your particular situation. Okay, you can get accountability. Maybe you have like another autism mom buddy that can help you, or also you can reach out to me for coaching. That's always nice to have like a buddy or someone you can kind of bounce ideas off of, being a part of an autism community. That's why we have the Mom Care Coach community in our Facebook group, so that you can meet other moms to kind of talk about, different things, keeping things positive, but also it's nice to be able to kind of voice some of the different concerns that comes up when you are focusing on your four intentional needs and getting support in that way. And then of course, reaching out to me for coaching. One-on-one coaching can do amazing things. I know in my own personal journey, there was a time where I was getting lots of coaching just to be able to have that sounding board of bouncing, my thoughts and feelings out loud, and just kind of talking that through of what may be going on. It was very, very helpful. And so I always encourage people to do that as well. Okay, and then also next step, we want to create a go-to reset system. Okay, you may be asking, why would I want to do that, Victoria? Well, sometimes things can happen in life, whether that is you go on vacation or you just had a holiday, or maybe something happens in your family unit. Someone gets sick, or even a traumatic event can happen. All of those things, you would need to reset yourself up and reset yourself again. And if you already have like a go-to reset system, that can really help you, so that you're thinking in your mind, okay, I've missed a couple of days, how do I reset again? You can reset yourself really quickly and easily, and it doesn't create stress in the body because you already know what to do. So setting yourself up with a go-to reset system can be very, very helpful, so that in the future, if you ever, get off again, you don't have to feel, overwhelmed when it comes to getting back on track. Okay? And then now I want to give you these tacticals. So for the person that's listening in and they have gotten kind of a little behind, maybe they have not been practicing their four intentional needs, or maybe they have one particular one they're working on, maybe like sleep, and they have noticed that they've had some hard stuff going on in their family unit, and they've noticed that they've been staying up later at night, scrolling more through the day, drinking more caffeine, all of those things, having too much blue light in their life, and they know that they're doing it, but they're trying to get back on top of things in the middle of that hard season, because that does happen. So what we want to do, let's talk about these tacticals. Number one, create a daily practice and try to make it fun. Okay. So for myself, I know I like color, and I like things to, like, my environment to feel very light and fresh and happy. I love flowers. This is spring where I live. And I was outside today with my kids. We were going on a walk, and we were looking at some of the flowers that are coming in, and we saw some really pretty lilies, and we were wanting to pick some of those. So for me, I like having flowers in the house. I like plants in the house. I love that. I love to see those kinds of things. And so that's something that I like. I like to go outside every day. So think of something that you can do, having a daily practice that, and make it fun. So for me, that's a part of my mindset work, being able to go outside, see the trees, look at the grass, hear the birds, all of that. Sometimes I like to do a little bit of grounding outside, maybe work in our garden. Those are kind of fun things that I enjoy. So you think about, creating a daily practice for yourself and make it fun. Number 2, remove all distractions for the week when you are trying to really focus in on this one particular intentional need. Okay. And then number 3, committing to the practice. The time will take whatever it takes for you to get really good at whichever intentional need that you're really focusing on. Allow that time to be. It's okay. And you want to be able to give yourself grace. That is so important, because sometimes we can kind of look at our situation and be like, oh man, I got behind again, or this is taking longer to really implement in my life, longer than I had hoped. There's a lot of different, thoughts and feelings that we can have about starting something new. And especially this, when you're trying to implement a new strategy in your life, it's really important to give yourself grace, because as I said, it takes the time that it takes, and that's okay. So you just have to allow that to be. Okay, so now I want to give some tacticals for the person that has gotten a lot behind when it comes to their 4 intentional needs. They are really struggling with compassion fatigue because of it. Because remember, the definition for compassion fatigue is lack of self-care strategies that you're implementing on a daily basis, and lack of boundaries or difficulty holding those boundaries for yourself. So let's talk about what we can do. So first of all, if you have gotten a lot behind in your 4 intentional needs and you're really struggling with compassion fatigue right now, you can get a piece of paper and you can write down all of your thoughts, your fears, your concerns. Write them all down. Whatever comes to your mind, write it down so it can get out of your head and into the world so you can actually see it. This is really important, because this one step, sometimes we can, once we see it down on paper, we can say, okay, well, this goes with this, and this part can be done at this time. And you can kind of organize your thoughts and what needs to come next. And it can really be a really powerful practice. All right, step number 2, we want to assess which of these needs we want to focus on. Okay, you're going to write that down as well. Okay, and then number 3, we want to remove all the distractions for the week, as we had said previously. Of course, things that are distractions that I am referring to are things that you don't need to do. Things that it can be fun to take up your time, but they are not things that you need to have on your schedule right now. We need to move all of those things out of the way so we can really focus on that intentional need. Because the truth of the matter is, you may not have a desire to really focus on that intentional need. What your desire is the outcome of focusing on that intentional need, what that will give you and how that can help you. So you may not be overwhelmingly excited about getting up and focusing on movement, but you know that when you focus on movement every day, that is going to give you more energy. So what you're really wanting is the energy, and that gets you really excited. But in order to do that, of course, we have to focus on those intentional needs, okay? Okay, and then number 4 is to commit to the actions. Commit to the previous action steps to really get it ingrained in your mind and your body on what you're actually going to do and making those intentions actually work in your life and in the season that you are in. And of course, number 5, again, you need to give yourself grace. Okay, allow the time that it needs to take, but when we are able to really focus on things, then we're able to make it easier for us to implement. So I hope that these tips were really helpful for you. I hope that it blessed you, and I look forward to speaking with you again next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to my mom's podcast.
Don't forget to follow and leave a review.
It is so important. The reason why is because that's really the only way that other autism moms know of this podcast and are able to receive from this amazing information. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like and leave a review and share with all your friends and download. Bye.
Thank you so very much for listening in. If you have learned something new today or have been blessed by this show in any way, please share with a friend. And don't forget to head over to iTunes and leave a 5-star review. And feel free to take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram, and I will tag you back. Thank you and be well.